very first multi-stream, so we're going to both Twitch and YouTube right now. I'm gonna see how that goes. I'm gonna run some maps here. And I don't know if okay. We're gonna have to roll some maps. So Anya, sell me this. And we get a couple of them. Yeah, we'll do a tier 2. And we need a jewel. Forgot the jewel. Oh no. And of course it contains succubi. So we'll try another one. Extra cold damage, pierce, fire damage. Extra fire damage on a tier 2 map. That'll be fun. Let's go for it. So alright, we got potions. Good on. Top off all that stuff. I think we're good to go. Moon Eye. Ooh, Grand Charm. We like Grand Charms. And we keep picking up those blue wolf pelts because maybe one day we'll get a +3 to elemental skills with 3 NATO and 3 Hurricane. Oh, we got Siege Beasts on this map and the Slingers. Oh boy. Oh boy. Got Champion Moonlord. Hey Pete, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good. It's been a long day. My kid's just been a giant asshole all day, so gonna die. But he was finally asleep, so figured I'd hop on stream. How are you doing today? I guess we should pick up some of these healing potions. We got a whole slew of named shamans over here. That's always fun. Yeah, I don't know what his deal was today. He was just not happy about anything and wouldn't leave the dog alone, and he was just wouldn't take a nap, just grumpy all day long. But that'll happen. So hopefully he'll sleep well tonight, and tomorrow will be a better day for him. Yeah, I was, and then I went back to Tornado for like the maps with Siege Beasts on them. Siege Beasts just have so much hit points that my Tornado does more damage output. It just Twister has better AoE. So since things have a little bit higher hit points in this map, I figured I'd go with Twister. Or Tornado instead of Twister. But having both the Siege Beasts and the Moon Lords, I think the Tornado is the way to go until I get some more plus to skills. Yeah, I ran some earlier today, and it just seems like the Tornado does better on the maps that have the higher hit point stuff, so. But if I, got another few more skiller charms, I think I would do enough damage with Twister to where I'd use it all the time. Except for maybe just like specifically on boss fights, I think Tornado's still going to be better, but. Hoping we can get some decent drops today. I haven't had much luck yet today, so maybe we'll find something. I keep hearing the term streamer luck, and I haven't gotten any of that yet, so I think I'm past due. Yeah, they are, and I mean they're not bad. Like, I mean, they take a lot of damage to kill them. But if you're a ranged character, they're easy to avoid, but man, they sure hit hard. And old Xander High doesn't have much problems with them, but they sure hit my druid for a lot. Saigon's helmet. So how's your guy coming along? Get any leveling done today? Oh, shamans. Probably gonna get charged by these corpses right here. Stay away. Ooh, like that hidden Moon Lord back there? That wasn't very nice. Oh yeah? How's the pally treating you? Oh, 24 minutes, man, I just started this map. I don't know if we're gonna make it to the boss by the time this game quits. This map is just huge. Oh no. Hate it when my hurricane falls off when I teleport on top of guys. It really helps slow things down so I don't take a whole bunch of damage. I really wish the chill duration on Hurricane lasted at least long enough to keep things chilled the whole time. Crescent Moon, are you going to go with a Holy Shock Zeal build like a Tesla did? I don't know if the Paladin version of Holy Shock ticks damage more often, but I know that, like, Holy Shock enemies definitely do. So I was thinking that, you know, Holy Shock Paladin Tesla Den would probably be a really good build. And using the Crescent Moon rune word, you are able to break lightning immunities with it, so I think that would be pretty cool too. Oh yeah, just straight up old school zeal with fanaticism. That's a good build. I think that'd be a pretty solid build for Ubers and stuff like that too. Have you played a Zealer before, like in vanilla or POD? Ow. Oh hey, Saigon's Helm number 2. What do you think about it only hitting 3 times instead of 5 times? Yay, healing potion. Oh, ow, ow. Not nice, corpse thing. Huh, that's kind of weird. There might be something in my settings. As you can probably notice, I got some new stuff, and then I'm also, right now, I'm streaming to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So that might be why there's a bit of a delay, I don't know. I don't know if my new overlay thing put in a delay or not, but... Yeah, that's a good point that you don't get the animation lock. Oh hey, World Stone Shard. I guess if it, you know, if you're still attacking at 4-frame attack, then, you know, even if it's only doing 3 hits instead of 5 hits, you know, you're still doing the same amount of attacks in the second, so I guess it's really not that big of a deal. And then if you don't get your animation locked, then that's even better. Yeah, I'll have to take a look and see if there's like a stream delay or something like that. I know that there's settings for that, but I didn't think I changed any of them, so I'll have to mess around with it and see if I accidentally did or something. But still new to this whole streaming thing. I've only been doing it for like 3 days now, so but we'll get it figured out sooner or later, I'm sure. Ah, so close. Hellplague Longsword. Huh. Adds to fire skills, dual leech. That's actually pretty good. I like seeing all the new item changes in PD2. I mean, there's some stuff that are surprisingly good now. Yeah, people really do like my YouTube videos, which... Oh, ow, 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 ow. 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 Pesky little slingers hucking toothpicks at me. Jerks. I've gotten a... Like, I've honestly been surprised at how much positive feedback I've gotten from my YouTube videos. And, you know, up until 2 months ago, I'd never edited a video in my life, never made a YouTube video or nothing. I just kind of started doing it for funsies, and people liked them, so I just kept going. And you know, it's actually been a whole lot of fun. Wow, that's the third piece of Saigons that was dropped in this map. Why can't it be like Immortal Kings, or... I need some IK build, man. Got little Billy up there in the corner. Oh, I'm just getting ping-ponged around by those corpses. Yeah, I should probably get my Mercenary. Yeah, it's pretty crazy seeing, like, joining public games and people are like, oh, hey, you're that YouTuber. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad you've watched my videos. Yeah, and the streaming thing is a lot of fun too. Like, I was pretty nervous at first to try and stream, but it's actually been a lot of fun. You know, it feels more like just hanging out, chatting with people, like, you know, hanging out on Discord, voice chatting with people, but, you know, it's just you guys can see what I'm doing, so I guess that's pretty cool. Oh no. Oh, no. Oh. I would be sad if I instantly died after getting my body back. But one thing that I try to do with like my YouTube videos is, you know, I'm focused more on spreading information and yeah, I think that I have to like stream, like I have to basically level up my stream before I can get subscribers. So, then I think really all I have to do is just, like, I have to stream, like, 6 times in 30 days or something like that and get 50 followers. So, I should be pretty close, but... Oh, come on, Talrosh's armor. Amy. But, you know, I try to make my YouTube videos more informative and educational, and you know, I don't really see a whole lot of that, at least in the Diablo community. You know, it seems like, I mean, there's a lot of people that do like build videos and stuff, but you know, I don't see a lot of more informative, educational type videos. And you know, they say that you're supposed to make the kind of content that you'd want to see. So that's just, you know, that's the kind of stuff I like watching, is theory crafting and number crunching and stuff like that. That I like to have as much information as I can, so I figured I'd just make videos on it. Ooh, yellow heavy bracers. Hoping to find some good 20 IAS with 2 to javelin skills rare gloves. Yeah, you know, and that was another thing I noticed, just like, especially when I was looking for Path of Diablo videos, is like a lot of the build videos that you'd see out there were with these streamers that play for 12 hours a day and have, you know, 40 high runes worth of gear on their character that's just not realistic for average people. You know, I like, you know, my most successful build videos have been the ones that are more budget focused, and you know, it's probably because I'm about the only one that actually makes videos like that. And it's kind of challenging on PD2 because I feel like budget level gear levels are much harder to be successful with in PD2 than they are in Path of Diablo. Like when you're in hell mode and you've only got, you know, +2 or +3 to all skills on a caster, in Path of Diablo you'd be pretty fine. I mean, you could get through the content and it'd be okay, but you know, it's pretty hard on PD2. I mean, you don't start really getting a good clear speed until you're at like +10 to all skills, and you know, it starts scaling. Like I think it'll endgame will be just as good, but it scales much slower. So, what do you mean by all or nothing? Alright, let's see if we can take this guy down without dying. Oh no. I don't know. Oh, ow, oh. Oh. Ah. Yeah, I can see what you mean by that. Like, that. I mean, that's. I feel that way too. Like, it's. I think that once you get really good gear levels, then it'll actually be. I mean, it'll just rip through content, but you know, until you get that gear, it's pretty difficult. You know, I like the added challenge. Like, I feel like PD2 is harder than Path of Diablo, but I wish it didn't have such a steep gear curve to actually be good. Um, and Vidalas. But you know, excuse me. Like on Path of Diablo, having a trap assassin with no torch, no skillers, or anything like that, I mean, you could still just rip through maps, no problem. Whereas, you know, I haven't played a trap assassin on PD2 yet, but from what I have played, it feels like you need a full inventory full of charms and tip-top tier gear to really run smoothly. You know, I haven't tried any of the Ubers things yet. I think that I don't even know what they were thinking with the Diablo clone fight. You know, I've seen Senpai has been talking about, you know, he doesn't want to see people that are cheesing and using pets and stuff to kill the Diablo clone. You know, he wants the new highest honor is a solo melee kill that doesn't use pets or cheese, but then he, you know, made it impossible to heal off of the Diablo clones. You can't leech off of them, and you know, I don't really understand what his goal was with that. And you know, there's obviously nobody's actually killed it yet without using pets or cheese in some fashion. So you know, it makes me wonder what kind of gear setup you're actually going to have to be able to even kill the Diablo clone. So I haven't really gotten into the economy yet. You know, I've traded a little bit. I don't much care for the trade site. You know, that's one area that I think that they need to put some more effort into. But for the most part, I have been relatively self-found. So I'm not really sure exactly what the state of the economy is, just because I haven't put any effort into figuring it out. You know, it was a lot easier to figure out the Path of Diablo economy because you'd have people asking for price checks in global chat all day long. So whether you trade it or not, you are still privy to the information of what things are worth. And, you know, I have no idea what things are worth in, you know, in PD2. There was a guy on Discord earlier in my Discord that was offering 2 low runes and a Vex rune for a bear. And, I mean, off of the Path of Diablo rune values, I mean, that would be 3.5, you know, 3.5 high runes that he was trading for 2. And I know that the economies are not going to be the same, but it just seems like that's so much to pay for a bear rune that I mean, it's just as crazy to me, and I have no idea what the state of the economy is whatsoever, so I can't really say much for that, but... Alright. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and make a new game, since this one's going to kick me out in 3 minutes. We should probably try and clean up some of those tier 1 maps. Yeah, I don't even really know what kind of gear I want to go for to improve on this guy. I mean, obviously I would really like a arachnid mesh and, you know, maybe a Mara's or a crafted amulet with some faster cast rate on it. I know that I'm 9 faster cast rate shy of hitting my next breakpoint, but I've been trying to figure out where I can get more survivability at, because things in these maps just hit so hard. I've got max resistances, and you know, really the only thing I can do to get more survivability is to, I guess, increase either my armor or my physical damage reduction, or get flat damage reduction. But makes me sad that I only rolled 20 all res on my Hoto, but that's okay. And oh yeah, I guess it would help if I actually put a map in there. And of course it contains succubus witches. Well, I haven't seen any Hierophants yet, knock on wood. Having Succubi and Hierophants is pretty rough. The Succubi are at least tolerable on this map because they can't fly out over the river and just shoot away at me. Yeah. You know, it kind of reminds me of, like, it feels more like Diablo 2 Classic than Lord of Destruction. Like, I don't know if you played Diablo 2 Classic, but that was back before they had tier 3 weapons. So, you know, the best weapons in the game were, like, you know, for a whirlwind barbarian was a yellow lance with like 150% enhanced damage. So you didn't really do a whole lot of damage. I mean, things weren't immune to anything, so that was nice. Like, I mean, sorceresses were just overpowered because you get teleport and frozen orb and you just slay the whole game. But yeah, I mean, like, your Amazons were using like Twitch throw armor and some random now I can't even think, the gothic bow. And I mean, you could, on a barbarian, you would get like blink bats and like something with crushing blow, so it would freeze the enemy, and then if they were frozen and you proc crushing blow, then they would instantly die. And you know, if you didn't have that combination, then you would just sit there whirlwinding for days until things died. And that's kind of how it feels to me, with like everything being scaled down. You know, and another thing that's, you know, I kind of stumbled across yesterday is Infinity will break the exact same immunes as it does in Vanilla or Path of Diablo, but versus things that are not immune, it's way worse. So in Vanilla, Infinity reduces enemy resistances by 85%, and versus immune things, it functions at 1/5. So if they have, so you're basically, if they're immune, you reduce their resistances by 17%. In PD2, level 12 Conviction only reduces enemy resistances by 34%, but it functions at half versus immune. So you're still, versus immunes, it's still doing minus 17%, but versus anything that's not immune, it only does 34% versus 85%. So, I mean, Infinity just straight up got, or Conviction is pretty much just straight up got nerfed. And I mean, that's, you know, just one more thing of why damage doesn't scale like it does in Vanilla or Path of Diablo. I mean, and with Amplify Damage is another good example of that. I mean, for you to, in Vanilla and Path of Diablo, Amplify Damage reduces enemy physical resistances by 100%. And I mean, and then in PD2, you have to put 40 skill points in. You have to max out Amplify Damage and Curse Mastery to get it to 70%. So, ooh, hey, Limrune. I mean, so it's the best that you can do is 30% worse than Vanilla, that would take 1 point, and it takes 40 points to get a, you know, 70% minus to enemy physical resistance. So, I mean, as far as, you know, Conviction, you know, it still has its use, and it will still be really necessary on lightning builds, like lightning sorceresses, or, you know, whatever other random lightning builds, Javazon, stuff like that. But I mean, overall, it's just, there's another thing that just the damage doesn't scale with it. So, you know, that may be their intention, but, you know, and then again, you know, we are still in the first season, and they might eventually realize that, oh, hey, you know, we need to scale the damage up better at low to mid-level gearing levels, you know. Then, you know, I think that eventually they will, because a lot of people are going to get upset when, you know, they can't actually do any of the content that they need to do to be able to gear up their characters. So and I also think that the reduced scaling kind of forces you to play like, or really focus on one character. I mean, until you have, just a huge amount of high runes and whatever the currency is, I mean, it's going to take a long time to gear up just one character. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming and saying hi. So, you too. We'll chat with you later. All right. I really should get some antidote potions for this map. There's so much poison damage and it lasts for forever. Oh no, don't die. Oh, Grand Charm. We love you, Grand Charms. Okay. Guess I could go buy some healing potions because things are just hurting me. Kane, identify my things. And defensive auras, huh? Got a limb rune. And okay. I'm gonna buy some antidote potions just in case. And we'll give that a try. Okay. So we got more Saigons drops back there. I think we've, in the last 2 maps, we've dropped pretty much the whole, I think the only thing we've been missing is the belt. Maybe the gloves. I know we dropped the armor, the helmet, and the shield for sure. And for anybody that doesn't know, if you use the gloves and any other piece of Saigons, I use the gloves and the belt, you get 10% life leech and 30% increased attack speed, so super good combo for your mercenaries. The deaths set gloves and belt are also very good. You get a bunch of resistances, as well as cannot be frozen and a 30% increased attack speed. I really enjoy being able to put boots, belts, and gloves on the mercenaries, as it's easier to hit your increased attack speed breakpoints. You can get better resistances, more max resists, and that's one thing that I think is really good about this mod, is being able to get more gear. And of course, IK Bill is possible, so treads the Cathan. I should probably not look at those while I'm getting shot by all of these succubi. Very thankful there was no Hierophants in this map. If there were, I probably would have died and rage quit by now, so got that going for me at least. I think the boss should be up over here somewhere. So many blood spirits, so much damage. Maybe I should switch back to Twister. Twister's a good choice versus Succubi. They're pretty low hit point, and maybe. Man, that one spider hit, and I'm poisoned for days. Go away, spider. These Vile Witches must have pretty decent physical resistance, because they don't take hardly any damage at all from Twister. So I guess we will switch back to Tornado. Okay, what do these do now? Oh, nice. Chance to pierce. Gonna have to throw those on Amazon. Max damage, Crafting Jewel. Hey, alright, we're up to 6 world stone shards now. Now we just gotta find some stuff to use them on. Although I think I might have to save up for a little while and do a slam fest, as I really enjoy doing those. Get all my disappointment out of the way all at once. Oh, 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 oh. Ow. Alright. Just go ahead and rejoin here. So I stream on a single monitor, and I have my little chat overlay thing, and I don't know if anybody is watching on YouTube or not, but I don't know if that chat shows up in my chat overlay. Because it's, my thing says that I got 12 people watching, but I don't know if anybody's able to, I don't know if, does YouTube even have chat, or do you guys just watch me? As you guys all know, I'm a giant noob at this whole streaming and all that fun stuff, so bear with me. Oh, I guess I should get my mercenary too.
Evening.
Yeah. Succubi have become one of my least favorite enemy mob types in the game. Very fast. Mostly because of these maps. I mean, they're annoying in Act 5 and Hell mode, like running Bale and stuff, but they're just a whole new level of annoying in these maps. Need to get me some cannot be frozen. I also don't think it's very fair that their amplify damage lasts for 10 days, whereas, you know, on a necromancer that I was playing, it lasts for 4 seconds. I'd really like to see them increase the duration of amplify damage for the necromancer, as the 4-second duration seems pretty weak. Ow. Ow. Oh yay, full juvies. We like those. Even if they only do 65%. Oh, why couldn't you have been a Shaco? So close, but yet so far. I think I found 3 or 4 peasant crowns in the last couple of days. Tiara, what was that? Kira's guardian? I think Kira's guardian is actually pretty good in PD2. They had a minus to enemy resistances, and it still has a whole lot of good stuff on it. I'll have to take a look here in a minute before we get to go fight this boss. We'll get restock on potions and take a look at that Kira's. Minus 9 fire resist, 9 lightning resist, 5 cold. Huh, not bad over. Really, that's pretty good. It'd be a lot better if it had skills on it, but... But we'll keep it anyways. Probably be good to use for running Ubers. Oh. Things hurt so bad. Ooh, River of Blood map. We like those. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Run away, run away. And you. Okay. Another antidote potion. Awesome. There's succubi hiding in the trees over here. Yeah, there are. You crafty little demons, you. Yeah. Oh, there's a... Yeah. So just buy a whole bunch of healing potions. We're going through a lot of them tonight. Trying to get these skeletons killed. I'm sure there's stuff hiding in the buildings and... Hey, how are you? Oh man, I'm tired. Wish these archers weren't sniping me through the doorway. Holy cow. More succubi hiding in the trees. Okay, I'll try and pick off some of these archers. Are you a throwing Javazon, or are you going Lightning Fury, or like Charge Strike, power strike. Have you tried the... So you got Charge Strike and Fury Strike. So Charge Strike, that's the one that does the little Nova thing, right? Or no, that's Power Strike. Have you tried Power Strike at all? No. After I kill this boss, if you want, I can come take a look at your character and stuff and see if we can figure something out for you. I don't know if you were on a little while ago when I was talking with Pete, but you know, they really nerfed Conviction Aura, so I mean, it's still good to... I mean, Infinity's still good for breaking immunities, but it's much worse at everything else. Like, you only get minus 34 to enemy resistances, whereas in Vanilla or Path of Diablo, you'd get minus 85% to enemy resistances. So it's, you know, pretty significantly nerfed. But are you in a game? I can come take a look at your gear and, you know, see if we can make some suggestions on what to work on. Yeah, I would imagine that, you know, I feel like a lot of characters feel like glass cannons. You know, I don't know what it is tonight, but these maps really have been hurting a lot. Like, I feel like I've been struggling more tonight than I usually have, and, you know, my gear hasn't changed or anything, so maybe it's just these Succubi and all that, but... Oh, you're driving? Okay. But yeah, let me go hop on a Amazon, I should say. My Amazon's only level 6, but so you said your Charge Strike. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow. So your Charge Strike and Lightning Fury. So we got Charge Strike, Lightning Fury, Lightning Fury. So do you also have Power Strike and Lightning Bolt maxed out with your Lightning Fury? Or did you focus on the Charge Strike synergies? Because that's the first thing I notice here is that they don't even have like the same synergies. Well, I guess, yeah. You got Power Strike is the only one that's the same synergy. And are you using Lightning Fury for like most of your AoE damage and then just using Charge Strike for boss kills? Okay, so you got Charge Strike maxed out, and then Power Strike, Lightning Fury. Do you also have Lightning Bolt maxed out? Because that would be your 100 points there. Yeah, I would almost have to say that you might be better off just getting rid of Lightning Fury. It's the synergies are really low, and yeah, I mean, I just with the way that damage scales in PD2, I just can't imagine Lightning Fury being that good. Are you running? What kind of content are you running? Are you doing maps? Are you running cows or like chaos runs or? Yeah, that 2% synergy. I mean, with the low scaling damage in PD2, I would imagine that Lightning Fury just does crap damage. I mean, it might be good enough for running cows, but I think it would be really low damage output for running maps. Whereas with like Power Strike's got a way smaller AoE and it's a melee ranged attack, but with 20% synergies, I think it would do quite a bit more damage. Have you thought about switching it up to a more melee ranged build? And because you could max out Power Strike, Lightning Strike, and Lightning Bolt, and just use almost purely Power Strike, and then put more points into your dodge and evade and more into your passives, or even max out your Valkyries. Yeah, I hear that Valkyries are really strong, and that if you get plus 10 to plus 10 to skills for passive and magic skills, you actually have three Valkyries. I hear that trap sins are really good. I've got a buddy he's been running Trap Assassin, but even then he tried out the Chain Lightning Sentry and said it was really good, but switched over to Fire and likes Fire a whole lot better. So, I mean, you still wouldn't really be able to utilize your Infinity all that well if you were going Fire traps. But from what I understand, Trap Assassins are actually really strong. But as far as the Javazon goes, my biggest suggestion would be, you know, try out a power strike build and see how that goes for you. Just because that one with the 20% damage synergies, I feel like Power Strike would actually have good damage output, whereas Lightning Fury just looks like it would just have crap damage. As an alternative to Infinity, you know, I don't know if Infinity would still be your best option, just because it does. I mean, Infinity would definitely increase your damage more so than anything else would, as far as weapons on your Mercenary goes. I mean, there's a lot better weapons for your Mercenary itself, but Infinity's still going to increase your damage more than anything else that you put on your Mercenary. But, I mean, you can break lightning immunes with different ways now. Like, with Static Field will break lightning immunes. So, I mean, you could use Crescent Moon, or even an Act 3 Lightning Mercenary cast Static Field on his own to break lightning immunes. But yeah, I still think that Infinity would be your best bet as a lightning-based Javazon. Act 5 with Silence. Well, I mean, Silence, I don't think Silence actually, it doesn't give you the cleansing aura in PD2. Let me look that up real fast. So an Act 5 Mercenary would be pretty good, but because you get that cleansing aura. But the only reason that Silence was good in Path of Diablo is because it had Cleanse. So, rune words, weapons, Silence. Yeah, Silence doesn't have, I mean, it's got +2 to skills, increased attack speed, pretty lackluster damage, mana leech, and then all resistances. But, I mean, if you're going with an Act 5 Mercenary, you'd be way better off with... so Act 5 Mercenaries can actually use axes and maces now, so you can use, like, two-handed maces. And if you went with the Act 5 Mercenary and went more of a physical damage build, you know, you could actually make beasts in a glorious axe. So then you'd get might and fanaticism. And, you know, I haven't tried out Fend or Jab builds, but, you know, Fend might be pretty good too, if you're wanting to go more of a physical damage build. But with the, if you're sticking with your lightning Javazon, you know, the might aura is not going to do hardly anything for you, because all of your damage comes from lightning as opposed to physical. Are you using an Act 2 Defiance Mercenary right now? Yeah, Defiance, okay. Yeah, because the only other options would be Blessed Aim and Thorns, which both of those are pretty useless for Javazon. What gear is your Amazon using? Like, what are you using Titan's Revenge or Power Strokes? What kind of gear do you have on your actual Amazon? Hey, thanks for the follow. Yeah. So the only 3 auras that you can get on the Act 2 Mercenaries is now either Defiance, Blessed Aim, or Thorns. So the Defiance one is the only one that would actually have any benefit for you. Because Thorns won't really do much, and you don't need attack rating for Charge Strike or Lightning Fury. They hit regardless of whether your Javelin itself actually hits. So, Titan and Fortitude, Phoenix. Do you have a Griffin's Eye? Because really, with that gear, that's all physical-based damage gear. So I'd say, you'd be a lot better off trying to go with like a Fend or Jab build. If you want to stick with Lightning, you should probably look into switching out your Fortitude for something like Chains of Honor. Phoenix is... They really, really nerfed the Redemption aura, so regardless of what level it is, it only gives you back 5 hit points per corpse. So Phoenix is next to useless for you. It'll keep your mana topped off, but you don't do fire damage, and you don't need the physical damage, so you'd be better off with like a Lidless Wall that adds +2 to skills. You do way more damage with that than you would your Phoenix. And then, Fortitude is the same way. You'd be better off with a Chains of Honor. And, War Travelers are good. IAS gloves are good. If you get IAS gloves with, like, +2 to jab skills, that would be really good. But I think really what you need to do is switch out your physical damage setup for +2 skills. And that'll really help your damage output. Like, the way that skills work in PD2, they start off scaling really slow, and they don't start doing good damage until you get into the 30s. So, like on my Druid, my Tornado is level 34, does 5,000 damage. at level 29 it does 4,000 damage. So just those, those +5 skills increase my overall damage output by over 25% total damage. And then every single skiller that I've only got 2 elemental skillers now, and every single one of those that I get gives me like 10% more damage to my total damage. So I think that your best bet would be to try and switch out and get as much plus to skills as you can. Yeah, honestly, a 4-socketed or 4-facet monarch would be better than a phoenix, or even if you get a 3-socketed storm shield with 3 facets in it would be a better choice than phoenix, because that way you could go. I mean, you get the physical damage reduction, you get the max block, and then 15% up to 15% bonus lightning damage and the minus to enemy resistances. So, I mean, if you think about it, in as far as damage output, you're not gaining any lightning damage on your Phoenix at all. So, if you used 3-faceted shield, like a 3-faceted storm shield, or even better yet, if you had a +2 to skills lidless wall with 2 facets in it, you would probably gain even more damage. But, with the Lightning Fury only gaining 2% per synergy point, 3 facets is worth almost 8 points worth of synergies. So, I mean, that's a lot of points that's a lot of damage boost for a skill like that. So I think that's your best bet, is to switch out your Phoenix and your Fortitude and try and get either a lidless wall with facets in it or a storm shield with facets in it. And then instead of your Fortitude, try to get a Chains of Honor or an Enigma would be a much better option. The Tal's Mask, you want to upgrade that to a Griffin's as soon as you can, and that'll be another huge damage boost. But I mean, if you switched out those 3 things, it would literally double your damage output. And then, with a couple facets and Griffins, you would be lowering enemy resistances on things that you actually break their immunities enough to where you'd be doing good damage against those too. So, yeah, I think we found out that is what you need to do there, is switch out your Phoenix, your Fortitude, and try and get a Griffin's instead of your Tal Mask. So, yeah, String of Ears isn't bad. I would say try and upgrade that to an Arachnid Mesh. Or even, I mean, if you're still relying on Lightning Fury, a Thunder God's Vigor would be a better option for Lightning Fury. But and I think I'm going to actually play my Throw Barb a little bit. I'm just struggling in maps tonight, so I think I'm going to take a break and switch from the Druid to the Throw Barb. So we should probably figure out how to update my... Update description, there we go. So we're gonna PD2 Throw Barb versus Nightmare. Okay. So the Throw Barb has been a whole lot of fun. I have a couple buddies that have both made throw barbs. One of them's been successful running Ubers, and I'm pretty excited about this guy. He's got really good gear for being level 44 and just absolutely stomps stuff. But oh, hey. We actually spawned really close over here, so maybe if I can figure out how to get there. I eventually will probably end up going Whirlwind on this guy, as I've always just really loved Whirlwind. The first character I ever made on Diablo 2 was right after Diablo 2 Classic came out. And, you know, the first character I ever made was a Barbarian, and I've been a huge fan of Whirlwind ever since. So, you know, I want to see how throw barbs go, because it's always been a very underwhelming build, but I think it's actually pretty good in PD2. But I'll eventually go back to Whirlwind just because I love it. One thing I found that's actually pretty cool about using Frenzy is if you get your Frenzy buff, it increases the damage of everything that you do. So, like, as long as my Frenzy buff is up, it increases my damage. Let's see, I'm at 4,600 main hand throwing damage. And then once Frenzy falls off... Okay, I guess it's not falling off. That's weird. Huh. I don't know why it's not showing up in my... Like, I was just looking at it yesterday, and when I had my Frenzy buff up, it was really increasing my damage, so... I don't know if they changed it to not show that, or fixed it to where it wasn't doing that, but either way. So, never mind. Still really a big fan of Frenzy just because you run so fast. Another cool thing about Barbarians, I think that a Frenzy Barbarian would be one of the best key farmers for the key bosses that you can't teleport to, because you have that super huge run speed and you can actually use item find and hork keys. So you can actually get extra keys by using find item on a Barbarian. I mean, it's theoretically possible that you get 6 keys from 1 kill. So let's see if I guessed wrong. Is it going to be over here or is it going to be up here? I don't know. Dual grief for like a dual grief Frenzy Barb, or for Whirlwind? Or for Whirlwind, you ideally want a big beefy two-handed weapon. Whirlwind is... It doesn't benefit from increased attack speed at all. So you're better off having the hardest hitting slow weapon you can find for Whirlwind. So you're better, you know, you're looking for something like a Breath of the Dying Warpike or Ethereal Steel Driver or something like that. But as far as a Frenzy Barb, a dual grief Frenzy Barb would be really good. But they did quite heavily nerf grief in PD2. It's not nearly as good as it is on vanilla. I think there's better options for a Frenzy Barb than dual grief. And I'm really glad that they moved this guy out of the way, which makes me laugh because he tells me you can't pass, but hey, watch me, buddy. Haha. And I don't know about you guys, but I really wish that they would switch Farah back to being over here. I don't like Lysander in this spot. I miss Farah being right here. I just wish they would make Farah sell potions. Alright, sewers, here we go. Hey, thanks for following. I really like dual throw. You got 400 Diablo runs and you're running Spirit, Smoke, lower tier haunch. Yeah, that's some pretty bad luck. What build are you running? I mean, what character are you playing? I mean, after 400 Chaos Sanctuary runs, you'd think that you'd find some good stuff and some runes and... I think Grief and Death would be a really good combination for Frenzy Barb. Also, there's that one that has a chance to spawn things as... Let me see here. Is it Eternity? Yeah, I think that Eternity would be super good. Oh, you're running the Holy Bolt Paladin? Actually, that's what my Paladin spec has right now, is Holy Bolt, but yeah, that sounds like you just been having some really bad RNG, man. That's I feel for you on that. I don't really have much gear on my Paladin either, but you know, you'd think that you would have found like a Shaco or maybe a Herald of the Zakharum or something by now. Yeah, it's pretty tough, especially running dual spirits now that they only add +1 to skills. That's pretty rough. One thing I would recommend trying to do would be try to get a +3 to combat skills blue amulet and a +3 to combat skills blue circlet, and that way you can get +6 to skills and it'll really increase your damage output a lot. One thing I've come to realize about PD2 is plus to skills is king in this mod. But you can get a +3 amulet and +3 plain blue circlet for really cheap, and that'll really help your damage output a lot. Oh no, Khan! I'm sorry that I let you die to poison. I need to go back and get a Bill Mercenary. I don't know if you guys know this. I found out yesterday that you can... Yeah, that's actually... I gambled my +3 to combat skills amulet, and then I traded for a... I dropped a +2 to paladin skills circlet. So... I've been using those. It's not the +3, but it's +2 to all paladin skills. But I would prefer to have a +3 to combat skills over the +2 all, but oh yeah. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what good weapon combinations there are for Frenzy Barb, and I absolutely love Pluggy. Pluggy is, I think, the best single player thing ever. And then Grund, they also, another good thing that you can make on the cheap for your paladin would be the principal rune word, the +2 to paladin skills chest piece. Because they reduced that one. It used to take a goal rune to make, but now I think the highest rune in it is pull. So it's significantly easier to make, and you get +2 to skills off of it. So the rest of the damage, or the rest of the mods on it, are more for like a Zealer or Smiter, but I mean, +2 to skills on a chest piece that's cheap and easy to get is probably the way to go. I think I'm using a Spirit Shroud Ghost Armor is what I'm using on my guy, and I like it for the can't be frozen, but it's only +1 to skills. And double throw is so good. The weapon bounces are just amazing. If you guys haven't tried a throw barb, it's actually a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying it so far. There we go. Throwing mastery maxed out. Now we can go back to double throw. I'd also really like to try out just a pure leap attack barb. Now your leap attack actually does an AoE damage when you land. It's not a very big AoE damage, but I think it would be fun just to make a leap barb. I guess the leap speed actually gets faster the more points you have in it, so... Have you guys tried out a Singer Barb yet? I haven't tried out Singer Barb, but I saw that they boosted the synergies that the Warcry gets, so... You know, from what I hear, it's actually pretty good, but I personally haven't tried it out yet. Where... I don't know where the next little zone is. Back here somewhere? No. Is it seriously just right next to town? That's gonna bug me if it is. And of course it is. You know, when I used to do a lot of barbarian PvP on vanilla, and my favorite setup for a whirlwind barb on vanilla was actually using grief main hand with beast offhand. If you know, whirlwind actually, you need increased attack speed on vanilla. And if you had a 36% increased attack speed grief in a berserker axe and then a beast berserker axe, you would hit your 4-frame whirlwind. And I really like that combo, but I have tried out dual grief. I'd usually throw on a second grief if I was fighting against like barbarians or smiters or something like that. And dual grief it's really strong on vanilla. But they did nerf grief quite a bit on PD2, and it's just not as strong as it used to be, and you don't need attack speed to go with whirlwind. But I think, you know, it would probably be pretty good for frenzy. Oh. I didn't know you can't leap up. I wonder if I can just use regular leap. Huh. I didn't know you can't leap up the cliffs. That's kind of dumb. Oh well. And let's see. Got to be a waypoint around here somewhere. I guess I don't really need the Dry Hills waypoint. I don't need Halls of the Dead for anything, so. Hey, there it is. Just barely caught that torch out of the side of the screen, so. I really like the changes to Maggot Lair. Still not my favorite place ever, but it sure is a lot better than it used to be. Yeah, I could see that being really, really strong. I have ran Ubers on a Frenzy Barb in vanilla before, but I can't remember what I think I ran Last Wish and Beast for the just huge amount of Crushing Blow and then Fanaticism Aura. And that worked out pretty good. But it's been such a long time since I've ran Ubers on vanilla. Like, I haven't played vanilla Diablo 2 in several years. Yeah, I do like that it's a level 85 area. You know, I'm sure that there's quite a few builds that would actually be really good to farm Maggot Lair. But, you know, the only character that I've actually gotten through Hell mode so far is my Druid, and there there was a lot of physical immunes in there. All the little bug swarm things, itchies or whatever they were called, were physical immunes, so that was pretty annoying. And then my summons were having a hard time staying alive to all the poison damage in there, but I think something, you know, like a fire trap assassin would be really good for maggot lair, or, you know, any number of sorceress builds. And yeah, Last Wish is such a good Uber running weapon. I mean, it's having the life tap proc, the fade proc, and then huge amounts of crushing blow. I mean, it's just, you really can't beat it. I mean, there's just really nothing you can get that's better than Last Wish for running Ubers with. No, I already got the waypoint. Okay, I'm dumb. We'll go ahead and go clear out Maggot Lair. Another barbarian build that I really want to try out is a Thorns Barb, where you just go with like dual wield weapons because you don't want to block, and then try and keep your defense low but max your resistances and physical damage reduction, and just run around using taunt, I think. I didn't even think about using Howl to get rid of physical immunes. I know that you can actually, in PD2, you can break physical immunes with using Battle Cry. So Battle Cry will break almost every physical immune in the game, aside from some of the rare spawn, like named guys. I think it's pretty cool that barbarians can break their own physical immunes. But I'm a really big fan of the lazy play style, so I'd still probably try and get a Mercenary that procs amp damage. I have a Cranium Basher, and now that Act 5 Mercenaries can use maces, you know, I was thinking about once this guy gets high enough level, I'll put my Cranium Basher on him. But there's a really good, I can't remember which axe it was, but there's an axe that procs amplify damage too, that's pretty good. Then of course there's always the Reaper's Toll that you can use on an Act 2 Mercenary, but I think the Cranium Basher on an Act 5 Mercenary would be a really good choice. Yeah, I'd imagine so. Unfortunately, I'm poor and can't afford a Last Wish, so... I've still got quite a ways to go to even finish out gearing my Druid. And So I just kind of been using what I find on my barbarian. And I had a buddy that made a throw barb, so he gave me a bunch of javelins that he shopped. So I've got 200 plus damage throwing weapons at level mid 40s. But I would imagine that an Act 5 Mercenary with Last Wish would be really good. Okay. Guess I could use my stats and skill points. I think an Act 3 cleansing Mercenary with Last Wish would be a really good choice too. Because Last Wish gives you Might Aura. Or does I don't I'm not sure if it gives you Might Aura in PD2 or not. But I'm also not sure if it still procs Life Tap. I know that they got rid of the Life Tap proc on Exile and Verdungo's. Or not Verdungo's, Dracula's Grasp. So I'm not sure if you're able to proc Life Tap or not. Ooh. I think the way to go for Boazon would be multi-shot and then either Immolation Arrow or Freezing Arrow. Like either one would be pretty good. I think Immolation Arrow will do more damage output overall, but Freezing Arrow will give you that crowd control. But from the people I've talked to that have made Boazons, they say that multi-shot is quite a bit better than Strafe. I guess Strafe it doesn't attack all that many targets, and it's not that great from what I hear. I haven't tried it out myself, but I've heard a lot of good things about multi-shot. Waypoint, where are you? Yay, waypoint. And we gotta have the Valley of the Vipers or whatever it's called over here somewhere. Valley of Snakes, that's what it is. Ow. You guys ever just like run into staggered out snakes that just ping pong you with their charges for days, it feels like. You could go I mean, Faith is still a good rune word to use on your actual Amazon. I mean, there's a lot of other good options, like, you know, Wind Force and stuff like that, but Faith is still probably one of the best bows to use for yourself, and then use your Act 5 Mercenary with something that can, like, Act 5 Mercenary with Cranium Basher that can proc amp damage. Or an Act 2 Mercenary with Pride, so you have the concentration aura. And ultimately, the concentration aura would give you more damage than either an Act 1 Mercenary with Faith or the Act 5 Mercenary with something like... Although, actually, I think your best bet for a Boaz, like if you're going multi-shot Boazon, would be use an Act 5 Mercenary with a Beast Glorious Axe. That way you get Might and Fanaticism off of the Act 5 Mercenary. Man, I hate the fire shrines. I click on them every time, and they do nothing but kill me. Like, I think that they put those in the game just to troll me. Hey, alright. And we got a small charm somewhere. Yeah, being able to use axes and maces on your Act 5 mercenaries really is pretty awesome, because there's a lot of really good two-handed maces and axes that you can throw on them. And I don't know if anybody has ever made a Beast Glorious Axe before, but it would be really good on an Act 2 mercenary. Yeah, let's see. Get rid of that one. Row. Save that guy for crafting. And then we can just vendor the rest of this stuff. Okay, good to go. Good to go. I wonder if it'll let me leap over stuff like walls in here. Nope. Well, I guess I can use leap to quest through Act 3 and leap over the river Chaos Sanctuary, or going to Chaos Sanctuary, but seems like it's pretty much useless anywhere else. Oop. Well, if you have the Act 5 with Beast, you wouldn't need the... Or if you're using Faith, you wouldn't really need an Act 5 Mercenary with Beast. Because Faith... Let's see here. Yeah, because Faith will give you a higher level... you know, if you made the Beasts for your Act 5 Mercenary, you would be much better off using something like a Wind Force or yeah, Wind Force is probably would be your best bet. But if you used the Faith Bow on your Amazon, then you could use something other than Beast on your Mercenary. So... But as far as your maximum damage output would be getting a Wind Force with sockets in it to get your Deadly Strike up, and then using a Beast on a Act 5 Mercenary. Yeah, that could be really good too. I hear that the elemental Bozons are actually pretty good. I've heard people have been pretty successful even with the full Mavinas set. And, you know, Mavinas is really not that strong of a set, so... But I think that a cold element Bozon with the Ice Rune Word bow would be really strong. But with that, you're still going to want to get plus to skills over enhanced damage, though. So you'd still be better off getting like your Chains of Honor or Enigma chest piece as opposed to Fortitude. Yay, Leap actually does something here. I was interested to see if the Leap Barb would be like the Leap Barb in Diablo 3. That was actually a pretty fun build. So glad that these guys aren't immune to physical yet. Thanks, man. I appreciate you stopping by and chatting with me. I think I'm going to call it a night after I kill Duriel. It's getting pretty late, and I have a 3-year-old that'll be up at the ass crack of dawn, so should probably try and get some sleep while I can, but But let me know how your Amazon turns out, especially if you end up going with bow spec. So anybody have any guesses? Is it going to be the fourth way that I choose? I go the same way every time. And figure that way I have at least a 25% chance of it happening first one. But alright, so we got 2 down, no summoner. Ooh, but we got an orc rune. Oh, well, hi Italy. I'm from the central United States in a state called Missouri. I always thought it'd be really cool to go to Italy. Oh, there's stone skin on these guys. We like those combat shrines, though. Doing, between both weapons doing 13,000 damage just at level 47 is just ridiculous to me. Oh, hand charm. I don't recall if the lightning spires were immune to lightning and poison in nightmare mode on... of course. Of course it's the last way. For some reason I was thinking they were only immune to lightning mode on nightmare in vanilla, but I could be mistaken on that. Alright, 4th time's the charm. Just because I out of other options, guys. He's got to be down here. I feel like if you had a really big, hard-hitting two-handed weapon like a Thunder Maul or Breath of Dying Thunder Maul or Warpike or something, that the leap barb would be actually a pretty good build. I don't know if it's got a big enough radius for it to be truly good, but using it for mobility with some whirlwind I think would be pretty solid. I think I broke it. Okay, that was really weird. Okay. We got a triangle. I can't remember which one the triangle is. First one to the left of the middle? I don't remember. That's the one we're going to try out. Square. Star thing. Double down. Arrows. Ah, triangle. Okay. Flawless skulls, we like those. Ooh. Guess we're gonna find out if they got the little glitch fixed when you put the staff into the orifice. I was questing through Act 2 on my paladin. I tried to put the staff in and my whole game froze up. I heard that same thing happened to somebody on my Discord earlier today. Armory. Small charm. I've never really paid attention if they... Do the gore bellies have, like, open festering wounds on their belly area? Or, and why are they called gore bellies? You could see if it was a demon thing that... Looks like their stomachs are just fine, so... I was expecting it to be like an abomination from Warcraft 3, you know, where they got a big old mouth for their stomach. Yeah, I'll try it this way. As you guys have probably figured out by now, I'm not very good at guessing directions. So. Oh, finding a lot of runes. Yay! Okay. Hey, it actually worked. Alright. Alright, Duriel, here we go. Go attack my mercenary. Alright, not bad. Not bad. Alright, guys, well, I think that's it for me tonight. I sure appreciate you coming and hanging out with me, and wish you guys all good luck. Hope you have fun, and we'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow.